Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another shave review, this time with Eufros Fougere. So Eufros, which used to be named Jabon Man, is a soap maker out of Spain, and real small manufacturer. Mainly does all of his selling is done through Facebook. So you message him up on Facebook, tell him what you want to order, and he gets you your soap. I was lucky enough to get a sample of it by Chris H, the Eufros Rosa Bourbon, and you can see how much is left in there. It's very little. I love that soap. So when I saw that West Coast Shaving was carrying the Eufros brand, I of course went there and looked around at some of the scents. They didn't have the Rosa Bourbon that I wanted, but I love Fougere, and they had the Fougere. So a little bit about packaging before I get any further. All right, nice metal tin. It's actually the same metal tin that the Abaci La Mantia came in. Just doesn't have any side labeling. It's a nice waterproof front top, very simple but effective. And then it does have a waterproof label on the bottom with the ingredient list in Spanish. So if you can read Spanish, great. If you can't, try and do what I do and figure it out. So today for the shave, we are going to be using, since it's the first time using a full tub of Jabon Man, I'm going to go with a synthetic brush. All right, and we're going to go with the Sorrentino TSC Legacy brush. And it's a beautiful piece of Goncalo Alves with a quarter moon black tuxedo knot. This is really, really nice done. And then for the straight razor, we'll be using a Spanish straight razor in my Philly 14 double temple. This is a first generation Philly. So it was made somewhere between, I believe the years are 1921 and 1954, if I'm not mistaken. So, all right, let's get right in. Let me step over here and make room for this. And go ahead, get the brush wet, a couple of flicks, and we're gonna go right into the soap. So this is a harder soap, and then so it's a harder soap, not nearly as soft as some other soaps like yesterday's soap, Abaci La Mantia. That was fairly hard, or fairly soft. It was an actual Italian soft curl. We'll load a little bit longer. So really didn't need to load as long as I did yesterday, but it is what it is. All right, so I think we're done loading. The one thing I will say about this is you have plenty of headspace in the tub to load your brush. And you can see how much space there is there. I didn't get hardly any on the outside. Take and okay, so this Fougere, let me talk about this Fougere, because this is not your typical Fougere. It is not a smoky Fougere. All right, this Fougere is very woodsy. So it's got more notes of the woody notes in there. Oak moss is pretty heavy. It's pretty prevalent in this scent. Now, here's how he describes the scent. He generally doesn't give too in-depth scent descriptions. He wants the soap scents to speak for themselves. It's kind of the same direction that Declaration Grooming is going recently with their new Project Icarus soaps, Shore, Contemplation, and sweet lemon. They don't really want to get into what the actual scent notes are, and they just want the soaps to kind of tell the story of, let the soaps tell their own story instead of having people try and break it down by individual scent notes. On one hand, I'm very pleased with this methodology, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to figure out how they constructed something. I have had some soaps that just don't agree with my chemistry, and it's always a good thing in my mind if they list the soap notes so that I can see if there's something in there that doesn't, there might be a particular fragrance oil or essential oil that my skin just doesn't like. Dave was able to pinpoint that quite easily, actually, that rose is just not something that agrees with them. There's a reason why I call rose Dave's bane. So this is whipping up pretty nice. I already got there, actually. There's probably 3/4 a teaspoon of water, and then I put in 8, so we're looking at close to 3 teaspoons of water for a 35 second load. So it's not an overly thirsty soap. Strength off the puck is probably somewhere in the 2 to 2.5 out of 5 range. Lathered up, I can barely smell it, so I'm going to guess that once lathered up, it's probably about the same. We'll find out when I get it on the face. So it looks like we're about done here. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my pre-shave, and I'll be right back for the straight razor shave. All right, guys. All right, guys, we're back. I want to show you something I forgot to do. I just want to show you how good this lather is. It's kind of crazy. Just really good lather. So let's get right into it. This is much different of Fougere. This is not your typical English fern or Martin de Condre Fougere. Much different. I would say more complex, but each Fougere is complex in its own way, so that's kind of a misnomer. Let's get some water in here. It is enjoyable. I would say there are notes of, almost smells like eucalyptus. It's actually quite nice. You can definitely smell some pine in there. Like I said, the oak moss is pretty heavy. So, all right, this is a Philharmonica double temple. It's basically an 8/8. And I can tell you right now that this soap has superior qualities. This was already one of my top soap bases just based off the sample. And typically, I will get much better performance out of a full-size tub. 'Than I do a sample. So I kind of figured I would see a vast improvement in performance. This is pretty remarkable, though. The glide on this is insane. I really wasn't expecting this. It's a very, very pleasant surprise. The cushion is incredible too. So this is going to have a retooled score. I think before I had scored this in the 51s, I believe. As of right now, with as quickly as it loaded, as quickly as it lathered up, I did have to add a little bit more water during my pre-shave because, as you guys know, I do lather up, put a hot towel over the top of the lather. The lather was a little dry, so I did add a little bit more water. Let's check residual. Face is damp, not dripping wet. Guys, this is dry right here, and I'm able to buffer it over the top of this. So residual slickness is a 10. It's a 10. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this shave. This is turning out to be a really, really fun shave. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up, and I'll be right back with my final thoughts. All right, guys, we're all done with the shave. Ended up being a really good shave. It did get a little steep right here with the razor. Not the soap's fault at all, and not the razor's fault. I just got a little steep right here. Ended up with one little nick, but it's all good. Closed right up with the alum. So, Eufros, Fougere, much better than the sample that I got as far as performance goes. The scent on the Rosa Bourbon is incredible. The scent on this. So one thing I want to point out about Fougere, it's French for fern. Ferns really don't have a scent. So Fougere typically is like the forest floor, some florals, but that's going to change from area to area to area. So what somebody would consider like a fern type smell in one area of the world is going to smell completely different, and this is very different than any other Fougere that I've tried. It's very pleasant, I will say that, but it is still definitely a Fougere. Performance-wise, I just looked at the spreadsheet. I believe it scored 50.5, and scores are going up. So lathering, it still gets a 9 on lathering. The cushion, the slickness slash glide, and the residual slickness, they all get bumped to 10. So right now we're looking at a 39 out of 40. Moisturizing is going to be at a 9. Right, so that puts it to a 48, and then stability, it's about as stable as you can get. So that gets a 5 out of 5 right there. That gives it a 53, which puts it on par with Holy Cow's Donkey Milk and hops extract. That's, I mean, elite soap, guys. So you can find this, if you go to Facebook, look up Eufros, you can find him there and order directly through him, or visit West Coast Shaving. West Coast Shaving does carry some of his soaps. They were carrying some of his balms too, but they haven't had them in stock in a while. He has a white label and a black label. The white label is his tallow. The black label is his vegan. So just be aware of that when you're ordering on West Coast Shaving. They do say so, but that is the only place outside of his Facebook page that I'm aware of that you can buy Eufros. Great soap, guys. Great soap. We use the Sorrentino, just to recap what we use, the Sorrentino TSC Legacy brush. And the Philharmonica Double Temple 14. And 8/8 razor, so a 1-inch blade. And got a really good shave out of it, guys. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Price point on this is $26 for a 4-ounce tin, $26.50, or some of the scents get a little bit more expensive just because of the fragrance oil he uses. So price point is on the expensive side. I can't beat around the bush about that. It is an expensive soap. If you get it from West Coast Shaving, it makes it a little more palatable. I think I picked this up for $26.50 US. So that comes out to right in the $6.50 range per ounce. Yes, it is expensive. To me, this is, the performance is right up there. It almost makes it worthwhile. It's shaving soap, so it's not worthwhile. But all the same, come out to the Shaving Cadre if you haven't done so. Check us out. Bingo starts in 2 days. Countdown to 2 days. 17th, bingo starts. All right, so I want to see you guys come on out. Yeah, if you guys want to see anything, comment down in the thread, and I'll see you on the Shaving Cadre, guys. Peace.